Secretary of State Hillary Clinton met with Egypt's new president, Mohamed Morsi, to show support for Egypt's fledgling democracy and to shore up U.S. relations with Cairo.
اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم انصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم عليك باليهود ومن والاهم اللهم عليك باليهود ومن والاهم اللهم فرق جمعهم اللهم شتت شملهم اللهم أرنا فيهم قوتك وأرنا فيهم عظمتك وأرنا فيهم جبروتك يا رب العالمين.
When you walked into the convention center, they had these big banners and it said, "Death to Israel, death to America." One of the people who were working with me said, "You know what, Bob, these people are Muslim Brotherhood."
These are the precise words of the founder of the Muslim Brotherhood, Hassan al-Banna. In 1948, he said this: "If the Jewish state becomes a fact, the Arabs will drive the Jews who live in their midst into the sea." Hassan al-Banna was a supporter of Hitler. The Muslim Brotherhood translated Mein Kampf into Arabic in the 1930s.
The Muslim Brotherhood is the parent of terrorist groups like the PLO, Hezbollah, Hamas, and Al-Qaeda. The Mufti living in Berlin hoped to bring the Nazis' final solution to Palestine and was personally responsible for persuading the Nazis not to free 5,000 Jewish children, who were sent to death camps instead. After the war, the Mufti faced war crimes charges, but the Allies feared angering the Arabs and allowed the Mufti to return to the Middle East, where he lived until 1974. Before he died, he handpicked as his successor to lead the Palestinians a family relative named Yasser Arafat.
The Mufti thought that Arafat would be the right guy to lead the Palestinian movement.
Well, the House Homeland Security Committee is demanding answers from President Obama regarding his silence about the possible release of a convicted terrorist. You see, Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi is coming to the United States in just a few weeks, and in an interview days ago, he made some news when he repeated his demands that the United States release Omar Abdel Rahman, known as the Blind Sheikh. This guy was convicted in connection with his role in the World Trade Center bombing back in 1993 that killed 6 Americans and injured thousands. He's serving a life sentence down in North Carolina. And while President Morsi has been very vocal about the need for us to release him, we haven't heard anything from the administration, really, in response to these requests.
Egypt's President Mohamed Morsi embarked on a historic visit to the Islamic Republic of Iran after over 30 years of little to no relations between the two countries. The Egyptian president landed in Tehran on Thursday to attend the non-allied summit, where he handed over the rotating presidency of the summit to Iran. Observers say this visit marks a new chapter in the relations between the two Middle Eastern nations. Iran had cut ties with Egypt following the signing of the peace treaty with Israel, and it is widely regarded that since then, Egyptian governments had chosen to side with American interests against the Islamic Republic, what led to the prolonging of the cold relations between the two countries. But to many Egyptian regular citizens and experts, re-establishing ties with Iran is a matter that makes sense. They want to see ties built on mutual interest and benefit between the two countries that have much in common.
تا شرقی ترین نقطه آسیا همه ملت ها یک فریاد میزنند و همه اونها با پلاکارد و مشت های گره کرده فریاد میزنند مرگ بر اسرائیل.
This administration, through Secretary Hillary Clinton, is going to announce that it could care less what Congress has ordered about helping the enemies of Israel, about helping those who are terrorizing and persecuting Christians in Egypt and destroying churches and eliminating freedom of religion, and are saying they want to rethink their peace accord with Israel and setting themselves up to be the enemy of Israel. And now this administration, knowing that Congress passed a law that says you can't give people money in Egypt unless you can certify to certain facts. And they cannot, not honestly. If they do so now with what we know publicly, we know they will not be honest in doing so. And they're going to give $1.5 billion, not in humanitarian aid, according to this story, not food, military aid. So forget all of those speeches that this president gave at AIPAC and, oh gosh, we're Israel's best friend, we're going to help them, because, oh no, we're going to give people who have the power to destroy Israel on the border with Israel military aid as they are planning, many there, make it clear they hate Israel, they hate us. And I've said over and over, we don't have to pay people to hate us. They'll do it for free. We have to quit funding the enemy of us and the enemy of our friends.
فلسطين المعتدين على الفلسطينيين هؤلاء مصاصي الدماء مشعلي الحروب أحفاد القردة والخنازير يجب أن نقاومهم بكل وسائل المقاومة مقاومة في فلسطين مقاومة فلسطين في داخل أرض فلسطين عسكرية ضد هؤلاء الصهاينة المجرمين الذين يعتدون على أرض فلسطين وعلى الفلسطينيين ومقاومة سياسية بالمواقف ومقاومة بالمقاطعة اقتصادية ومقاومة بالدعم للمقاومين هذا يجب أن يكون ديدا المسلمين والعرب خارج أرض فلسطين دعما للمقاومين يجب أن يحاصر الصهاينة أينما وجدوا.
The deputy head of the Muslim Brotherhood's Freedom and Justice Party has predicted that Israel will cease to exist within a decade. SM Al-Arian, also an advisor to Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi, made the comments on his Facebook page, saying that because soon there will be no Israel but only Palestine, Egyptian Jews should return to their home country and leave the land for the Palestinians. Muslim Brotherhood officials have been increasingly outspoken on the subject of Israel since their rise to power in Egypt, leaving many to question President Morsi's commitment to Egypt's peace treaty with the Jewish state. Al-Arian's comments come following a declaration from the Egyptian ambassador to Lebanon, who said that his country is ready to work with Hezbollah, the Shiite Islamic group which has been labeled a terrorist organization by the United States and Israel.
رأينا حلم الخلافة الإسلامية حلم أرض الخلافة يتحقق بإذن الله على يد الدكتور محمد مرسي ومن معه من إخوانه وجماعته وحزبه. ستكون عاصمة الخلافة ستكون عاصمة الولايات المتحدة العربية هي القدس إن شاء الله.
تكبير تكبير تكبير.
ستكون عاصمتنا ليست القاهرة ولا مكة ولا المدينة وإنما القدس إن شاء الله. وسيكون هتافنا على القدس رايحين شهداء بالملايين على القدس رايحين
شهداء بالملايين على القدس
رايحين شهداء بالملايين على القدس
رايحين شهداء بالملايين على القدس رايحين شهداء بالملايين من عيون كل اليهود طيار النعاس يلا يا عشاق الشهداء كلكم حماس. من عيون كل اليهود يلا يا عشاق الشهداء كلكم حماس. من عيون كل اليهود طيار النعاس يلا يا عشاق الشهداء كلكم حماس. انسوا العالم كل العالم وانسوا المؤتمرات شيلوا سلاحكم صلوا قيامكم شيلوا سلاحكم صلوا قيامكم وادعوا رب الناس وادعوا رب الناس. من عيون كل اليهود يلا يا عشاق الشهادة من عيون كل اليهود طياروا النعاس. يلا يا عشاق الشهادة.
نعم، كل عشاق الشهادة هم حماس، ونقولها من هنا، من المحلة، من قلب الدلتا، من قلب مصر، وليسمع العالم جميعا. ولن نوري ولن نواري ولن نداهن. نعم، هدفنا القدس، سنصلي في القدس أو ننال الشهادة على أعتاب القدس.
الله
على القدس رايحين شهداء بالملايين، على القدس
رايحين شهداء بالملايين.